Hi, and welcome back to the channel, guys. We are continuing WandaVision. This is episode 6, titled All New Halloween Spooktacular. Well, that can only mean one thing, that we're getting into Halloween. It's a Halloween special, holiday, even though, like, in real life, there's a different holiday coming up right now.
What?
Very different. Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I was thinking that. I was thinking that. Never mind.
Oh, you're thinking the Danish. This is,
Fastelavn,
yeah. It's a thing where we dress up as well, and it's not necessarily just only spooky stuff, but it's just it could be anything, and it still involves a lot of candy and kids dressing up and trick and treating. Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, exactly.
But you were thinking about Valentine's Day.
Yes, that was what I was alluding to, and that's why. Well, your makeup, and I'm wearing red. That could also be for Wanda, because her red costume, so there's a little bit of that in there too. And then I got the love symbol from Prince, and we're also drinking a little bit today, so if we seem just overly tipsy or just giggly in a giggly mood, that's why. So just cheers to all you guys out there, and happy Valentine's that's coming up, and
or happy Friday.
Happy Friday, yeah. That's always a good excuse to just drink a little bit. But last time around on WandaVision, it ended with a bang, you could say. Someone showing up that we definitely did not expect. Quicksilver, but not the Quicksilver from the MCU. It was Evan Peters reprising his role, or that's what we assume. He could still be just like, they could have just recasted the character, basically. So it might not be, now we're opening up the multiverse, but one can only hope. And we also know that Wanda knows she's not able to revive the dead, and that the Quicksilver from the MCU, he is dead and gone, probably not going to come back. And if we do see Aaron Taylor-Johnson again, that it might be some sort of an illusion, because she can still do that. But she has apparently revived Vision in a way, and that's possible because, well, first of all, he's not strictly speaking human, and he was, what was giving him life, essentially, or a part of it, was the Mind Stone, which is what also gave Wanda her powers. So there might be some connection there. That's why she can revive him in a sense. But there's still so much mystery, so much intrigue left. So we can't wait to jump into the episode. If you have anything you want to... Nope. Fair enough. Then let's do it. And you can, of course, always check out our full-length reactions where you can sync up the footage with your own copy of the episode. We also have early reactions for some of the shows that we are doing. It's all over on Patreon, and the link is down in the description below. All right. Here we go. We're getting into the 90s now, right?
Yup.
But us not being Americans, we don't know all the American sitcoms and all the references. So this one, for example, I'm not quite sure. Oh!
Damn.
He's your uncle. Why would I be scared? You're secretly afraid he's a vampire. No, I'm not.
Oh, he's using his powers.
Somebody better be bleeding on fire.
Is that from the comics?
Yeah, it's pretty much her comic book outfit.
That is so lame.
Aw.
That's not exactly how I remember it.
He probably suppressed a lot of the trauma. Whoa! Sweet costume, bro.
His comic book look.
I know you have a secret thing for Mexican wrestlers.
Me gusta mucho.
Chili con carne.
Oh,
Chili con carne.
Never told me much about your brother. I had no idea he'd be so...
Go!
Great with kids.
He's a frat boy.
you didn't tell me you had plans.
Well, I am telling you now.
Don't sweat it, sis. I got the old XY chromosome. Uncle Pete to the rescue, huh?
There you go. Problem solved.
You have a spooky time.
Wanda, be good.
Hmm.
I smell crime.
He's gonna go out and maybe investigate a little bit, because we know that he knows something's up.
Don't do that!
It's Billy's idea.
I'm Tommy.
And don't you forget it!
You don't even have a costume.
Now we know who we're dealing with.
Hey, there he is. The guy who almost got murdered by his own murder squad.
Woof.
If Wanda is the problem, she has to be our solution.
Captain Rambo, you have become an impediment to this mission. All you people who left still have the luxury of optimism.
Don't use the last 5 years as an excuse to be a coward.
Maybe it's a good thing you weren't here when your mother died, because clearly you don't have the stomach for this job. Get her off my base.
Low.
Yeah, really beginning to hate this guy.
Let's go, everybody in.
Oh,
Oof. Damn.
they can scrap.
You okay? Yeah, let's move.
Did no one else see that?
Apparently not.
This is your winner. Tommy.
Unleash hell, demon spawn!
Demon spawn.
What was the name of that kid who was always trying to steal your boots?
You're testing me.
No, I'm not.
Hey, it's cool. I know I look different.
Why do you look different?
You tell me. I mean, if I had found Shangri-La, I wouldn't want to be reminded of the past either.
All the candy has disappeared, and now all the jack-o'-lanterns have been smashed.
Oh, come on.
Sorry, Wanda, I gotta bounce.
Well, maybe Vision can help you out.
He's not on duty.
No, I...
All right, peace.
Are there all the kids, man?
Yeah, now there are kids everywhere.
Yeah. What the what?
Stuck in a loop of some kind. Oh shit.
I'm so hungry, I'd eat anything.
I used to be like that all the time.
What did you do?
Snacked on Yo Magic, bro.
Can I have some?
Here you go, little dude.
Okay, Doc.
Yo Magic, the snack for survivors.
What?
Trouble with the Rugrats and ultimately give you grief. I mean, that's what you wanted, isn't it?
What happened to your accent?
What happened to yours? Tails are fuzzy, man. You got super speed!
I do?
Yeah!
You can take it slow, you can...
He's not gonna. Nope.
Nope.
Don't go past Ellis Avenue. We know, Mom. We know.
Be careful!
So they're gonna go past that avenue, right?
Most likely.
That's interesting. Guys, Hayward figured out a way to look through the boundary.
You didn't share it with the group.
Hmm.
The program is tracking the decay signature of vibranium.
Vision.
Your vision.
Why is Hayward tracking Vision?
These people near the edge of town, they're barely moving.
Oh.
Are they alive?
So the further you get out, the
That's where we get the looped people, right?
probably.
Agnes?
Oh, it's Agnes. Okay. She.
Town Square Scare.
She's a witch.
Got lost.
In the town you grew up in? It's all right.
You're one of the Avengers. You're Vision.
What's an Avenger?
Why don't you know? Am I dead?
Why would you think that?
Because you are.
Because I'm not. Agnes, please, calm down. Agnes!
The fu-
We'll fix this, Agnes, I promise.
Okie dokie, neighbor.
Hmm. So she's not
In on it.
in on it, or
Happy Halloween!
oh, Ellis Avenue.
You can't go past Ellis Avenue?
Hmm.
Because that's where the hex is. And he's doing it. Ooh!
What's gonna happen if he and when he does? I have so many theories and questions. And
That's it. My way back into the hex will be here in an hour. Just gotta meet my guy over the ridge.
Your guy?
Energy inside has rewritten your cells on a molecular level
What?
twice.
Seen enough lab results to last me a lifetime. I know what Wanda is feeling, and I won't stop until I help her.
Okay.
Is that how she's gonna get her powers then?
Okay.
But I'm staying here. There's something big here. Something that can help us. I know it.
What if you get caught? Someone's gonna go into that room at some point, I imagine. Alright, who's her contact? That's what I really want to know. Is it the aerospace engineer she was talking about, or...
Where were you hiding all these kids up till now?
What?
I assume they were all just sleeping peacefully in their beds.
I didn't.
Hey, don't get me wrong. You've handled the ethical considerations of this scenario as best you could. How'd you even do all this?
Yeah?
I'm not some stranger. You can talk to me.
Was he planted there? To get information out of her?
I don't know how I did it. I only remember feeling endless nothingness.
Are you okay?
Jesus fuck.
Vision. What's he doing?
Going right to the edge. How? What? What's gonna happen when... How is that even possible? Oh shit.
Why are you helping him? Stop! He's coming apart!
He really does want out, doesn't he?
Oh yeah. His powers are activating too.
Your dad, in my head, he's in trouble. What are you doing?
It's not like your dead husband could die twice.
Whoa, what the... She's gonna expand the thing.
Moving. Go, 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 go.
To save Vision, she's gonna expand the barrier.
Yup.
Darcy? Holy. How much is she expanding it?
Clearly a lot.
Damn, Wanda.
Damn, Wanda?
These episodes are too short. Alright, so that was episode 6, the Halloween special. Damn, a lot went down. As I said, while we were watching, I have so many questions and also so many theories. And it's just difficult to figure out like how everything still fits together, but we are getting more and more and more. And it is apparent that yes, Wanda is controlling this thing. And even Agatha, it seems like, is not really, like, she's not controlling anything. Oh yeah, sorry, it's because her, probably the character that she plays in the real world is called Agatha. So
Agatha
yeah.
Harkness.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Agnes, let's just call her that still. She was driving to the edge, and that's when Vision approached her and was able to kind of snap her out of it, and she lost it a little bit and then back into it. So but there was the thing about her though still that she didn't know where the town center was really, and Vision was like, you don't know the city you grew up in, so that still supports the theory that she's definitely not from Westview, and maybe she's the one that Jimmy was looking for, his the one who was from witness protection or something. They mentioned it in episode 4, and that's why he was called in, and that's the person he was looking for, and her last known location, or that person's last known location. So that could be her, definitely. And I've seen those theories out there.
And she wasn't on the wall, right? When they were doing the
trying to figure out
to map the people to
figure out like who are the real people there. It didn't seem like they knew who she was, maybe, or she was
they couldn't ID her or something, right?
Yeah, it looked like that, definitely. There's so much happening, and sorry guys if we miss some stuff. It's not because we're not paying attention. We really try to catch all the details and every reference, but there's just so much in this show. But that's also part of the fun, that you can pick it apart afterwards and then find all the things that you maybe didn't spot first time around. And I also quickly looked up like what the intro and the episode vibe overall, what it was inspired by, and that was actually Malcolm in the Middle. So not 90s. And you also spotted that, well, they had a flat screen
or something like that,
or something like that, or it looked more modern at least compared to what we had in the 90s. So yeah, Malcolm in the Middle. And they were also talking directly to the camera, the kids, just like Malcolm in the Middle, if I remember correctly. It's not a show I watched a lot. I just know of it.
Yeah, same.
But we've actually decided to do something different compared to how we usually do things. And it was one of our dear patrons, Austin D, who came up with that suggestion, who suggested it. And that we take questions and comments from our patrons about the episodes that we just watched, whatever it is, and then address it or talk about it in our discussions. And I already put out a post, haven't looked at it up until now, because of course didn't want to have anything spoiled. So I'm just quickly gonna try and find it and see if there are any comments about WandaVision. Still, I'm sure a lot of people haven't had the chance to watch it just yet. We're filming this around semi-late in the evening here in Denmark, and we are like 6 to 8 or 6 to 9 hours ahead of the Americans, depending on like if you're on the West Coast or the East Coast. But either way, we have a few, and one of them, Lexi, has several questions or comments. So I'm just going to go through that. And the first one is, who is Monica's contact? Yeah, I also mentioned that in the episode, that I'm really curious about who that person is. And is it the aerospace engineer? Is it going to be someone we know? Do you have any suggestions there?
No, we talked about this in the live stream though, but my first, when we talked about, what is it?
The aerospace
engineer. The first person I thought about, Dr. Eric
Selvig? Played by Stellan Skarsgård?
Yeah, exactly.
Haven't seen him in a while.
No, exactly. And that was the first person I thought of, but I also thought that, well, he was an astrophysicist, right? So it's probably not him.
Yeah. I think, yeah, that was what he was, yeah. Something to that extent.
So if it's an aerospace engineer, I think the only person we know of might be Mr. Fantastic, right?
Oh, that's a theory, at least. It's not confirmed at all, like when or how we're going to see the Fantastic Four being introduced into the MCU, but it's going to happen at some point, is my guess. And maybe this is the way to do it, and go with Dr. Reed Richards. We'll see. There are many potentials there, definitely. Second one is, Agnes tried to escape, but couldn't. So yeah, maybe she did.
That's why she was at the border?
Yeah,
of the Hex,
at that street. What was it? Ellis Avenue or something?
Yeah, I can't remember the other one.
Yeah. So yeah, she drove to the edge, and Wanda just stopped her. And she even mentioned that Wanda won't even let us think about escaping. And there was a lot of that in this episode, with people who were in loops or just completely stuck in whatever they were doing. And it seemed like she was only keeping the people just around her and her kids active, the ones that were on camera for the sitcom. And everybody else, they were just in waiting position, and she's not taking any chances. As like, if she can't see it. If it's not in her immediate vicinity, then she's not gonna let people do anything. Perhaps. And the third one is, doesn't seem like Vision could be resurrected. He was sucked in back into the hex and was falling apart in the real world. And yeah, that's most likely because he is dead in the real world, as Agnes also told him and broke it to him that you're dead. But before that, she said that you're one of the Avengers. You were one of the Avengers. And Vision was like, what's the Avengers? And that confused her a bit. Like, how can't you know? So Wanda is just keeping a lot from him and in his mind too. Although he's being very inquisitive and he was investigating, and that was also what we noticed early on in the episode with them, arguing or going back and forth. And even the kids said that mom and dad, they have been arguing a lot recently. So I'm sure that that's a big part of it. All right, and the fourth one, this episode reminded me a lot of Rick and Morty with the edge of the simulation running at a low capacity. Yeah, I remember that episode definitely, and it has those vibes, and definitely also when the whole thing extended too. That was damn. She just keeps proving how powerful she really is and what she can do with her powers. And how much he's in control of it, too. And number 5, what's up with Pietro? Is he real? That's a good question.
I just think if Vision is not real, we saw that that sometimes she's kind of reminded, she gets a flash of them, the dead corpses.
Yeah.
So, and we saw Quicksilver or Pietro. We saw how he was.
He had those bullet holes, just like Quicksilver or Pietro from the MCU. And we even got a little bit of that in the previously on. They showed that clip from Age of Ultron with him dying.
So I think maybe he is real, but he is just from another dimension.
Maybe, but he was still like adamant about no, I'm the same Pietro and I still have the same memories, but I just have a different face for some reason. And then he also was showing that he knows that what she's doing. He knows about it, and he was even complimenting her on her abilities to do all of this.
I wanted to know about him.
Yeah. And you mentioned something about like, was he planted, or that's just off camera, but whether or not he was planted.
Yeah, because as soon as around the time when he showed up at the door, we saw an alarm going on outside in Sword. We saw an alarm.
I heard it,
and someone said someone is intruding or something like that. There's an anomaly, something like that.
Yeah, it was the same kind of alarm that happened like when she was exiting the hex to confront them.
Yeah, so I can't help but think that maybe he was planted by someone, because it feels like he's trying to get something out of her. Like, how are you doing this?
Yeah.
How are you actually doing? And she can't answer that. Like, she doesn't know. Like,
no, she knows she's in control of it, but she doesn't know exactly how it happened. She just remember feeling emptiness, and I'm sure sadness and everything she's been through. So there's still that possibility that she was manipulated into this whole thing.
Potentially, yes. Maybe she was just, of course, very sad. About the whole thing. It's very tragic, and it was a way for her to escape. I also do believe that why were Sword picking Vision apart down in that basement?
Yeah. That's something we didn't really comment on in the last one.
No.
Because Hayward was very adamant about Vision's last wish was not to be used as a weapon or anything. And Wanda didn't respect those last wishes. But it definitely seemed like Sword were doing the exact same thing, or they were picking him apart and trying to figure something out. And he's also keeping an eye on Vision specifically.
Exactly. We saw today that dot. Dot. That was Viz.
Yeah. And something that he wasn't really sharing with the others was just how much he was really keeping an eye on the situation. So he wants Vision for something is also my guess.
Is that why? Maybe he's trying to make Wanda revive him completely.
Maybe that is that. Like maybe he's the one, or he's just involved in it somehow, like the whole manipulation thing, and he kind of orchestrated the whole thing, where she came in and took Vision's body, and then it just kind of spiraled out of control. And that's also why he's so adamant about, no, we need to just take her out, and there are no other options. We can't talk to her, because he's afraid that she's going to remember and out him.
One of the reasons.
Yeah.
And of course, she's also very much a threat to him. And if he wants this, I think it's very clear at this point that he wants this. And he still needs her for the whole revival stuff, maybe.
But yeah, a lot is happening, and it is difficult to figure out just how everything is connected. I know we keep saying that.
That's why I love this show.
Yeah, me too. I'm really enjoying this ride so far. All right, and question number 6 from Lexi, and the last one: are her kids real?
I think so.
I do believe so as well, that they are real. Also because we've seen that she's not necessarily able to control them. And now they got powers, just like their comic book counterparts, or them from the comic book, like and even dressed up like them. And we commented on just how Vision was looking like comic book version of Vision, Wanda the same, also with Quicksilver, and then Wiccan and Speed. And then we got one other comment from Serena Phillips. Do you have any idea about what's going on with Pietro? He was asking a lot of questions and seems to be very aware. Do you trust him? Love your reactions. Thank you, Serena. Yeah, we all already talked a little bit about that.
I don't trust him and he is real. I do believe he's real, but I do believe that he's planned it.
Yeah, and not the real Pietro.
No, I think he's been snatched from...
Yeah, the other reality, or the multiverse. And that is why he's looking the way that he is because he's just a different Quicksilver, and has just maybe been given some of the memories of the MCU version of Quicksilver. Because we did get like one flashback also from when they were kids and going trick-or-treating and getting the herring, which he also threatened to turn him into a pickled herring at one point. That was quite fun. But she also blasted him in the end when he was being too inquisitive or just meddling too much. And I just have a few things here at the end, now that she has expanded the whole hex boundary and kind of transformed and taken in more people, the sword people. And I kind of like how they were transformed into like a circus and clowns and circus people. But she also took Darcy. Like, we didn't really see what she got transformed into. But then I'm expecting for her to show up in that world in the next episode. And it's kind of sad to think about. Like, she specifically stayed back, like, one, because she knew that Haywood was up to something, and she was trying to get to the bottom of it, and she wanted to keep working with that. But also, I think because she did not want to go into the hex with Monica and Jimmy. She also showed how the molecular structure is changing, or it changed in Monica when she went, back and forth. Even though it didn't really seem to concern Monica that much. And she made a reference to Cancer, yeah. And I do also believe that Monica is in a unique position to actually help Wanda process the loss that she clearly hasn't processed yet, because Monica has gone through the same thing, although I don't know if she has processed that loss herself, but maybe that's something that they can figure out together, and that's like they can help each other in that sense. And she's definitely a key part of all of this. But my mind is all over the place. I'm sure there's a lot more we could get into and talk about, and many more details and Easter eggs. maybe we're gonna bring them up next time. I'm also losing the ability to speak. Maybe it's because we haven't eaten dinner yet, so we should get to that and get some fuel in our bodies. We also have some more stuff to watch this evening. But do you have anything you want to add to this episode?
Let's say Agnes is Agatha Harkness, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was dressed as a witch.
Oh yeah.
That was kind of fun.
There's that little detail or Easter egg as well, that she was dressed as a witch and did a very witch-like laugh at one point too, when she was sort of losing it when Vision snapped her out of it. So that's gonna do it for this reaction and review of WandaVision episode 6, all new Halloween Spooktacular. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.
Bye.